Hello, everybody. I'm David Sirota. I'm on the board of the Progressive States Network. I want to thank all of you for coming out. And I want to thank the Labor Caucus and the Progressive States Network staff for setting this up. I spent the last, well, now it's been 2 years traveling the country reporting for my book, which is called The Uprising. And I asked the question, why is this country at this moment so angry? And who is trying to organize that anger? And what I found in about a year or 2 years of reporting is that many of the anger points that are fueling our politics today, not surprisingly, revolve around economic issues. And then there are efforts on both the right and left to organize that anger into a cohesive political agenda. And that I think that we fool ourselves if we think that this moment of economic angst is automatically going to be channeled into a progressive direction. That while the political topography of the country now is, I think, somewhat tilted in progressives' favor, that it's going to require a huge amount of work for all of us in this room to take this opportunity and make sure that it goes into a progressive direction, and in specific, a progressive economic direction. Now, just to echo what Joel said, we are hearing a lot right now in our media about the idea that the only place that seems to matter, or at least that the media says matters, is the national or federal electoral arena. But as everybody here knows, the rubber really hits the road on a lot of these, in fact, most of these economic issues in state legislatures. And so, when I have traveled around the country, and this is the 8th week of that I've been away from home for my book tour, and what I tell everybody at these events that I do, when I meet with regular folks, what I try to tell them is that people have to understand that we can get the Congress that we want, we can get the president that we want, but if there is no pressure, or if there isn't sufficient pressure in our state legislatures, then we won't get the change that we need on so many of these economic issues. Now, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, but what I am telling you is that in the coming weeks and months, and certainly after the election, getting that fundamental message out to people, the idea that state legislatures are the place where we can move so much of this agenda, I think is absolutely 100% critical in your work and in all of our collective work. There really is I think, a real lack of basic fundamental understanding of that. And so when you're in front of people, when you're talking to members of your organizations or your constituents, simply reminding people of that. I mean, I can't tell you how many events that I've done where I tell people that, and they look at me like I've told them that the sky isn't blue. When I tell them that, actually your legislature is really where so many of these policies happen. And I think that the good news is that I think that as the progressive movement starts to better organize around issues and less around simply party, I think that bodes well for all of our work in state legislatures. That I think conservatives have benefited in state legislatures because their movement has been better oriented and organized around issues. If you're organized around issues, it doesn't matter where you're passing your agenda. You want to pass your agenda at every level. If you're only organized around parties and individual politicians, then you can see how it's easy to ignore the arenas that we're working hardest in and the arenas that mean so much.